74. Resistance on the upside at 30, 39, 46, 60, and 71. Pivot 40, 20, 20, 43, 20. Resistance at 30, 39, 46, 60, and 71. Support below at 1203, 4294, 85, and 74. All right. The market was under a huge amount of pressure here overnight and came back, obviously trading on the heels of all the geopolitical situations that's going on in Ukraine, and obviously having to do with the internal inflation situation in the United States. Giving us a lot of volatility these days. So welcome to some of the new folks that are here. We are trading mini S&Ps, looking for opportunities to scalp the market based on the levels we gave out, and as well as other price action opportunities that occur once the market paints some bars. So the combination of both gives us opportunities to trade. We focus on the morning hours here to give us our good bang for our money based on the values that we gave out, because the dynamics change as the day goes on, and different opportunities occur later on. But with the methodology that we use, we focus more on the morning hours to give us those opportunities to scalp the market. We're looking for about, I would say right now, about 5 points stops with a 5-point profit target. Again, that varies with volatility on any given day. So that all depends on the volatility and how each day creates its own set of dynamics that we have to take into consideration. It's more arbitrary to say that it's 5 points. Most of the time, I think we can trade for about 2 to 3 points minimally, and then what happens from there depends on volatility and what news comes out of any geopolitical or any fundamental news, and you have to be mindful of those when they occur and kind of take that into account if you're trading. So if anybody has any questions, welcome some of the new folks that are here. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask in the chat box area. If you look at the chat box area right now, if you bring it up, you'll see the levels that we just gave out. And those are the levels that we're going to use as a guide to the day. And we can add to them, subtract from them, and be able to adjust them based on the dynamics of the day. Like every day has its own set of dynamics. Every day has its own set of situational things that might affect the market, right? And so we have to take that into consideration as we are trading. So again, we are trading mini futures, the equity futures, mini S&Ps. That's what we're trading right here, looking for opportunities to scalp the market. And that's what we are trying to do here on an everyday basis. A lot of volatility, but we also make sure we keep our stops in place. That also keeps us out of trouble a little bit. And when we're wrong, we don't get run over by any of our trades here, as we are always mindful of that situation more than anything else. Because we never know when the fundamentals or any geopolitical situation is going to overtake the technicals, and we are trading off of technicals. All right, so if anybody has any questions, feel free to ask at any time. Very, very fluid these days with the volatility due to the, like I said, all the things that are affecting the market these days with the geopolitical situation in Russia, and market likes it, does not like it. Very, very fluid. You got to keep your stops in place. You don't want to get overrun by any one of these trades that we put on, only simply because they have their own set of the volatility these days is so great that at any given moment, you never know when they're going to get stuck or they're not going to get stuck. So what news affects it, whatever it is, you got to make sure you keep your stop in place. We talked about this from the beginning. So we got stopped out at the 12 coming down here to the 03 area. And again, if you just keep your stops in place, it gives you the opportunity to take advantage of the good trade when it shows up, like this 03 area make up for the 12 very easily here. As you can see, nice quick rotation. Unfortunately, it is volatile. So if this kind of volatility is not, not what you are comfortable trading, just be patient. The markets will settle down a little bit. Most of the time, we're looking for about 2 or 3 points on our stops. I think a majority of the time. So this is definitely an aberration as far as volatility. Now it could be this aberration could last, I don't know how long, as long as this Russia thing lasts, or the market's not going to be too happy with this until somewhat gets resolved. Or something happens. I don't know. Who knows what's going to happen, right? I mean, every day they got some new stuff coming out of there, so it's very, very tricky as far as what the news rotation is from Russia and what might or might not happen there. So keep that in mind as you're trading, right? What we can do is try to take advantage of ebbs and flows of the market. And we'll see what the day brings. All right, so we got stopped out at the 12 there. You can see very quick, but we did get back into the 3 area and a nice rotation back up there to the 08. Again, all we're trying to do is take advantage of ebbs and flows of the market. It's very, very fluid these days. The volatility here has been injected into the market. Once we started getting into electronic trading, you can see they just move around like crazy, and you have to be very, very mindful of that and how you're dealing with it and how you're trading it. So you have to be a little bit, very, very careful and make sure your stops are in place, because like I said, it's very, very fluid. These things just move around like hot knife through butter sometimes. And all we can do is by protecting ourselves is by using our stops to help us make sure we don't get run over on anything, right? That's all we can do as traders. And again, if there's too much volatility for you and it's the craziness is there, then just be patient. Things do settle down. We do know that, and they will settle down at some point, so be patient. All right, so nice rotation there. Whoa, it is really ripping around in there. I mean, very, 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 very fast, like all over the place. So you gotta be a little bit cautious and make sure you take your stops, put your stops in. Coming down here, the next support level we have is down here, but the way it's moving, it's moving. It is very, very fluid. Again, the volatility in the first couple bars in the morning is very, very quick. Things do settle down a little bit after that. So, just if it's too much volatility, especially coming off of a weekend, right? The weekend is always, the volatility is always greater on the weekend. So make sure you understand that. And then this is coming off the weekend here, so you have some, added volatility that you have to consider. And that's what is going on here, and they have to take in all the news accounts from the weekend and try to decipher what it means. And you have people on both ends playing that game, bullish and bearish side. Right, got down. It's very, very whippy. Patience is important. 94 is the next support level that we have. All All right, let's see here if we have any. We have no economic reports coming out today. Crude oil is just on a massive roll there, right? I mean, just going crazy there. Let's see. As pressure builds on to sanction Russia, Biden administration's inching closer towards a ban on import of Russian oil and energy products. Brent crude nearly 140 a barrel on the news overnight, threatening to intensify inflationary pressures, while WTI crude soared 12% to $130 a barrel for the first time since 2008. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi said she already would support a crude import ban, as well as move to deny Moscow access to the World Trade Organization, marking an increased effort in Washington to further isolate Russia from the global economy. All right, so this is in place of, I guess, sending troops over there. I mean, nobody wants to do that, that's for sure. It's a very tough situation, though. Just doesn't make any sense. What's going on? What the end game is does not make any sense here. Just creating a lot of tumult here for everyone. That's about all. It's creating volatility in the markets for us to trade, right? I mean, that is what's going on. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad, but the opportunities are going to be there. As a trader, that's all we can do, right? Just wait for opportunities to trade and make sure you keep your stops in place and take advantage of them when they present themselves. As traders, that's all you can do. And again, the volatility is out there. So if you're nervous about trading this volatility, just be patient. Things will settle down as we continue down ticking here, looking down here for our next area of support is down at 94. All right, coming down here to the 94 area. Again, make sure you keep your stops in place no matter what. And again, how do you handle volatility? As you can see here, we got definitely some inverse trade going on with the bond market here. They rally a little bit as S&Ps break. They were breaking as we rallied. So definitely there's some inverse trade going on here as the market opens up here on a Monday, absorbing all the news from the weekend, and you get this added volatility into the market at this point. Again, will it change? Obviously can. Will it? No. You just have to be patient and try to take advantage of ebbs and flows of the market, and make sure you keep your stops in place. That way you don't get run over by anything, even though we might take your loss, but at least you're going to have another opportunity. So, all right, we're working this 94 area here. Again, make sure you keep your stops in place no matter what. Very, very fluid market. Again, if you have a mechanical stop, it's great. If you got stopped out, it's okay. If you're using a finger stop, then maybe you still have them as it bounced down there really quick, coming back up here, giving you a chance to scratch them a little bit or even make a little bit of money. Again, everybody trades differently. Nobody here trades the same way, right? It's a little bit of a rotation. Obviously, we did get down to 89 there. So if you did get stopped out, that's okay. I'll look for our next opportunity there. Now we have a little resistance around the 12 area. Support now, next support level is down to 85. Let me give you some levels here below the 80, 70. They got 85, then 74, then 68, then 56. And we don't know which way markets are going. I mean, I wish I could tell you that we were going to break here off the morning, but I did not know that. All we can do is trade the ebbs and flows. We're not trying to guess which way markets are going. We're just trying to find some entry points where we feel the markets will give us an opportunity to scalp the market. Again, if anybody has any questions, feel free to ask in the chat. I have that window up. In addition, to the levels that we're going to show you again in the chat, there they are. Ooh, perfect timing there. With the additional levels on the downside. As the market continues to downtick here. Looking now at the 85 area. All right. Again, market very, very fluid. Got down to 86. We have 85. If you did get in there and scale in, maybe you're in. Taking advantage of this rotation here against the 85 area. Again, we are, because of the fluidity of the market, we can't be perfect, but we have to scale into a position or an area, right? And if you're just trading one lots, I get it. That's fine. You don't have to, uh, if you didn't get it, it's all right. Just be a little bit cautious here on the follow through rotation. Again, we're going to get them now, obviously. And trying to get a little bit of a rotation here off of this 86 area. All right, nice little push back up here against it. Very, very fluid. Well, we had 85, so 86 is, well, we did get the 85 on the next rotation off of that. So we got, hopefully we got in very good there against our 85 area. Nice push up here against the 85, getting us 5 points. If you want to try to stay long, have a trailing stop. See if we can take a little bit track to be able to do that. And if your contracts, you're able to stay long here against that 85 and take a little bit more than 5 points on this trade. I know 5 points is a lot. I get it. If that's too much risk for anybody here, then patience is important. And know that the markets will settle back down a little bit to get even more normal 2 to 3 points. And these days, though, with the volatility that's in the market, it's going to be a lot different. All right. Okay. Nice little rotation again, bouncing off of the 85 area that we told you about. Again, this is a way to take more than 2 points out, as 5 points out of these trades. If you're trading multiple contracts, you have to scale out of them, right? We're not holding any positions here. So if you are trying to hold something for more than 5 points and it comes back down here, you get stopped out. You have a trailing stop on this thing. Again, anything I say here, we put together a trading methodology that encompasses all these concepts and ideas. The objective here of the education course that we offer is for you to be able to find levels on your own, to understand why they're there, understand when they're not, why they wouldn't work. With, so like I'm trying to help here, we're telling you the volatility is great here in the market and creating the overflow, or the technical term would be, which is escaping me right now. I'll think about it in a minute. Yes, those are Bollinger Bands. The blue bands that you see in there are Bollinger Bands. I use we focus on the blue band itself versus the other. Those two red bands to me don't make any sense, uh, but whatever. We just focus on the main Bollinger Band there to help us with some of our trades that we focus in on. So yeah, the slippage that occurs, that's the technical term, with the volatility that's in there. We have to take into consideration the slippage when the markets get a little bit volatile, and especially when the VIX is in the mid 30s right now. Preferably, I mean, some traders like the volatility. Okay, I'm not going to lie to you. Some other traders, this is way too volatile for them, and they have to sit back and watch. And VIX is at 33.40 right now, and so everybody's got their different risk tolerances, and you have to understand your own, because everybody trades differently here. Nobody here trades the same. So you have to understand that. So we work with each individual to help them maximize profit potential based on their risk tolerance. So we try to explain, what your goals are, what you're trying to accomplish, how many contracts you can trade, how you can do that with the contracts that you're trading, and to minimize the risk for you right? That's the most important thing. Always trying to minimize risk. And this is a very risky business, right? All right. As the saying on the floor used to be, this is the easiest way, the hardest way to make easy money, right? I mean, this is true. No doubt about it. So we do this every day with this trading room in addition to the levels we gave it. But really, the goal here of our education course is for you to find levels on your own, understand why they're there, and then trade them according to what you are comfortable trading, not what somebody else is. So when I say scale in, some don't. How you scale in depends on your risk tolerances. You scale on 1.5 above, 2 points below, above and below. Everybody here trades a little bit differently. To be honest with you, nobody here trades the same way. So you have to understand what your goals are and try to maximize those profits for yourself. All right. And again, if anybody has any questions, feel free to ask in the chat, right? Very important to do that. All right, again, you can see here we did bounce off of the 85 area, coming all the way back up here to the even. We have resistance around 12 right now. If you're looking for an area of resistance. While Russia crude only accounts for 3% of American imports, is responsible for over half of Russia's exporting earnings. The United States may even go at it alone without the participation of allies in Europe, at least initially, and is looking to make sure that there is enough supply to offset any collateral damage. American officials held face-to-face meetings in previous sanctioned Venezuela this weekend, with analysts speculating that the OPEC member could be a source for incremental supply of gasoline, as gasoline prices in the United States top $4 a gallon. And Biden advisors are also weighing a trip to Saudi Arabia. NATO members currently buy more than half of the 7.5 million barrels a day of crude oil and refined products that Russia exports, and inventories are already low in the United States at record low levels in Asia and in Europe. So our education course consists of how to find these levels, how to understand why they work, why they wouldn't work, try to understand a lot of technical analysis that we work with. And we do it in the afternoons, use live charts to explain the concepts and ideas that we offer. And we do it, like I said, in the afternoon, because we focus more on the morning hours for our trades. So we're looking at the first 2 to 3 hours in the morning for our objectives to be filled, and then after that, we kind of don't really trade that much in the afternoon because the afternoon dynamics change. I'm not saying that the levels won't work. I'm just saying that the dynamics for ebbs and flows for opportunities to scalp are different than those in the afternoon. So our focus is more on the morning hours to help us with our opportunities, and then we use the afternoon for education and helping traders with our education course and what that entails. So we do that using live charts and everything. All right. Again, market is very, very fluid here. Be very, very patient. Understand you have to be patient and wait for opportunities. Next support level we have is down at the 74. We use Zoom with this room right now as our where we use the where we do our education. But again, like I said, we can tailor it to help you, and it individually we can make private calls and whatever it takes to help you maximize those, to understand what we're doing, and then maximize profits for yourself. But we do it in the Zoom room here, in our Zoom room. Sounds so fancy. All right, market continues to downtick. Next support level we have is down at the 74 area. Listen, it's very very interesting. I mean, obviously, there's a lot of stuff going on. You got Russia, and then you got the Chinese. You're right. The trading platform all depends on the broker house that you're with, and which one they accept as as who they're using. They recognize, I should say. So again, the platforms are just dependent on cost also. So we don't really recommend anything. The ones that are probably whatever your brokerage house is recommending, that you can understand and you get the information you need from it, then those are the ones that I would recommend. So I don't really have anything specific as far as that is concerned. Just the fact that what the brokerage houses offer different types of firms that they're using. So whichever one that they use that you're comfortable with is fine. And there's different ones out there for sure, so you just have to find the ones that well, that's see, that's the problem for most people who come here. They spend a lot of money on other stuff, and unfortunately, they're afraid to pull the trigger. You're right. I don't blame you. I don't blame you for being nervous about investing in anything else. Right? I get it. But you can always talk to some of our folks that have taken our course if that makes you feel any better. I mean, we trade here every day, so we're trying to make money a little bit at a time. We're not trying to hit home runs here or nothing like that. So, and I get the fact that a lot of people, by the time they find us, they've spent a lot of money doing other stuff, and they don't want to spend any money. I don't blame you if you've been hurt before like that. So. But you can see our levels, how they work. We can see the dynamic of what we're trying to do here. If it's interested, I mean, you could take some of the same concepts that we teach in this for S&Ps and use them in other markets as well. So we just focus on one trade. I mean, I've come to the conclusion that if I can do well in one market, I'm going to stick to that instead of trying to try to do everything else out there. I think there's a lot, because you can always trade a lot of other markets. Everything's moving around. Everybody comes in here and says, "Oh, why don't you trade the forex market?" Well, okay, you could. Okay, but I'm sticking to S&Ps. They trade well technically. They have good opportunities, ebbs and flows. The volatility, the volume is there. Obviously, right now the volatility is there. So it's enough like I said, sometimes with this volatility, it ain't for the faint of heart. This is moves around like crazy. Got to make sure you understand your risk tolerance and trade it accordingly. How do you handle risk? You could trade, even though maybe you're trading 5 lots normally, maybe 10 lots normally, you cut it down. You trade 2 or 3 lots instead of 5 or 10, because the volatility is there. You're going to make your money either way. Right. The concepts and ideas do work in other markets as well. So if in case you want to venture forward and try to take it to Forex, everybody loves the Forex. I don't know why everybody loves Forex. I don't. I used to love trading the bond market. I came out of the bond pit, and they don't trade well technically anymore. Ever since 2007, when the government took over and doing all those buybacks that they made, all those buybacks happen, and they got themselves deeply in the market. Oh, we punched up all the way to the even area and came off. What was the minimum amount as far as trading is concerned? Again, that all is dependent on each individual. Minimum, well, these days, probably need 10 with this volatility. I would say that when we go back to 2 or 3 points, which is most of the time, maybe you can cut it down to 75 or 5 grand. Initially, again, depend if you're trading 1 lots. Again, that's minimally 10 right now with this volatility. Again, everybody, again, you don't have to. You trade your own. You understand what your risk tolerances are and trade it accordingly. We're not trying to make a killing here. We're trying to make a little bit of money every day, and that adds up at the end of the week. All right, we can see we dipped down to 76, 77 area there, and we have 74. All right, Don, you might get this one. The war in Ukraine is also threatening to upend global shipping industry, which is still trying to recover from the coronavirus pandemic. Two of the largest shipping container groups, Maersk and Mediterranean Shipping, have already suspended cargo booking to and from Russia, with sanctions that are starting to have an impact on trade. Ocean rates could even double or triple from the current $10,000 per 40-foot container, according to some firm that looks at this stuff. Double or triple. Great. Cargo checks are now one of the biggest disruptions to shipping, making sure that they are not breaking sanctions at ports in the EU and the UK. Companies are also halting operations due to uncertain waters. For example, shipping laden with crude could be subject to sanctions just days after embarking on its journey, leaving the cargo stranded and the company forced to swallow the costs. Things are getting worse with closure of airspace, which is a key alternative to the sea. European Union, Canada, and the United States have closed their skies to Russian carriers, prompting Moscow to retaliate in kind. The country plays a part in its air cargo corridor from the east to the west, with some Japanese carriers already stopped booking to air cargo to Europe altogether. Sanctions are further impacting Trans-Siberian Railroad, the railway which transports goods from China to Europe through Russia. Russian and Ukrainian seafarers make up 1/7 of the world's shipping workforce per International Chamber of Shipping. These essential workers are not easily replaceable, while airspace ban has compounded issues by making it harder to ferry personnel to and from ports. Shipping movements in the Black Sea, a key commodity export route, has also been frozen since Russian invasion of Ukraine, and staffing those ports is a key security concern, even if they're open in the near future. So this guy has created some hell of a backlash on everything. That's really good. That's really good. All right. Well, it's not good. Not good what's going on here. As you can see, the market doesn't like all this uncertainty stuff. There's obviously a lot of ill will here, and the market just is until this stuff gets figured out. You're going to have a lot of pressure on these markets, I think. But it is what it is. The volatility is going to stay in place, that's for sure. All right, coming down here to the lows again, we get the 74 area as our next support level. At the annual parliamentary meeting on Saturday, China set the GDP growth target of 5.5% for 22, making it the first time in 3 decades that the figure fell below 6%. Premier Li also stressed that achieving this goal will require a lot of effort and involve dynamics at home and abroad, indicating that this year our country will encounter many more risks and challenges. Nearly 3,000 lawmakers descended on Beijing for the National People's Congress, where the nation's rubber stamp parliament laid out targets for spending, employment, enjoyment, and other growth goals. All right, we're coming back down here again to these lows. It's a newsletter that I get. It's from Europe. All right, again, coming down here, we have 74 as our next support level. Among the reasons for the GDP downgrade, China's zero COVID strategy, a debt-fueled real estate crisis, and a commonly prosperity crackdown, like tech, education, and entertainment sectors. Not surprising. So we're coming down here. Be careful here with the way this is trading right here. Got down here to 76. So be a little bit careful there around the 75. Maybe enter on the lower end of the range there. A nice little 500 lot at 75 there, as you can see. All of a sudden, a big order shows up. It's been a while since we've seen a 500 lot with this market, right? It says 600, I know, but there's a lot of piggybacking going on there. Oh, just took it out like it was no big deal. Not a surprise. Cut down here to our 74. All right, Ingrid, welcome. And we keep our stops in place here, very important. And I suggested getting in on the lower price target there on our against our 74 for obvious reasons. I mean, not obvious, but for reasons. Maybe you adjusted down there a little bit. Down to 72 would not have been a terrible entry point there, and a nice rotation here off of that rotation there. So again, we talked about adjusting because of the price action. Maybe you adjusted down to 73 even a little bit. That would have been a nice entry point there for you, and took no heat on this little trade coming back up here. So again, you got to take the price action, see what the price action is telling you, and that's why I suggested adjusting your 74 entry point there by a little bit. Don, here, we're going to give this some levels here. We gave you a couple more. We gave you 68, and then 56, and then I'll give you a couple more here. As I have no idea which way this market's going to go. We got 46, 38, and then 27. All right, nice rotation there against, again, we talked about adjusting a little bit where your entry point was going to be because of the price action. Hopefully you did that and got in a little bit lower. And you had a nice little pop, quick rotation up to the 78, 77 area. I mean, unfortunately, you got to have your orders in place, or else whatever you go from having a 4-point profit to a 2-point profit in a second. But it is what it is. Again, if anybody has any questions, feel free to ask in the chat. The volatility is great. There's no doubt about it. If it's a little bit too much for you, then just be patient and wait for the market to kind of settle down. It will settle down at some point, right? And again, not everybody likes this volatility. You have to understand your risk tolerance and trade it accordingly. As you can see, we added if you look at the chat box area there, we've added the different additional levels that we gave out. Again, we focus on the morning hours to give us our good bang for our money here with the levels. The afternoon trade becomes a little bit different than the morning trade. It becomes more one way. It doesn't trade well. It's technically well as we would like. The levels, I would say, are there. The price action opportunities that we expect don't trade as well in the afternoon as they do in the morning. But you can always use the levels in the afternoon trade and see what happens there. Do we know that this market was going to go down when we opened? If I did, I would have told you. And if you knew, I wish you would have told me. I don't know if I would have listened to you, but I would. But unless you know 100%, but nobody knows 100%. And if they do tell you that they know 100%, then they are definitely lying to you. I would love to tell you we were going to go down 50 S&P points this morning and just get short, and then call you back an hour later. Hey, cover them now. We're done. We'd be done for the month if I knew that was going to happen. Anyway, being obviously facetious there, right? All right, again, if you have any questions, feel free to ask in the chat. Wow, Don, that's a big statement. All right. So next level of support we have is down, and what is that, 68 now. Again, we got a double bottom there at 1 1/4. So the 68's a little tenuous. just a little bit. It's a little bit too close. You know, if you're risk averse, maybe you wait 4 to 56. I don't know. Well, it depends on much risk you want to take, or maybe adjust a little bit lower on the 68. I have never been asked that question before. What do you suggest for somebody who has only Mondays available? It's a tough question for me to answer. uh, oh, it's a tough question. Mondays are not normally. I mean, yeah. I mean, I would say Mondays are normally very busy. I don't know. I don't know how to answer that question. I don't know what to tell you there. It's trading is an everyday process. Obviously, I mean, you know, and I get the fact that you have just Mondays available. Everybody has different, you know, things to do. I totally get it. Um, well, would not usually recommend this, but do you trade? Can you trade at night or when the markets are closed? Because the markets are open all the time. Maybe that'll be an alternative. You can put a little bit of time and effort in the evenings to see, you know, how the markets trade. Then again, the concepts and ideas work. Because remember, we are teaching technical concepts and ideas, so they would work in other markets as well, and including the afternoon or evening, I should say. It's a little bit different dynamics in the evening, but it's I really I can't answer that question. I have never Nobody's asked me that before, and I don't want to give you some made up answer that doesn't make any sense. But trading is a process, so you have to, you know, be at it every day, because we're not going to be right every day. And I mean, I can't tell you that I've only made money on Mondays, and there'll be a good day to come. That I can't tell you. So I don't know. I can't answer that. I've never had that question posed to me as we come down here to the 68 area again. Scaling in a little bit differently, maybe because of where we ended up. Maybe some of you did, maybe you are not. Whatever it is, just keep your stops in place. Work in the 68 area now. All right, try again, getting a little bit of rotation here. And we suggested entry point there a little bit lower, right? Maybe you got it in a little bit better because of the price action, because of how it's trading. 65 would have been a good. Hey, I'm not gonna. Of course, you get an honest answer from me. I'm not here to give you. I would never. Wouldn't know. I wouldn't honestly don't know how to answer that. You're welcome. Again, we work in this area here. Again, if you got in a little bit better for logical reasons, we're not just getting better here for no reason, but there was a reason we adjusted to the downside here against the 68. If you did that, maybe you're got in a little bit better and trying to see, you know, if we can rotate up here a little bit. All right, maybe you again adjusted a little bit there to a little better entry point. I mean, there was a reason for it. It's not like I'm telling you to do something that there was no good reason. As a matter of fact, we are always looking for reasons to trade. We're not just putting in trades because we feel like it's a right thing to do. We're looking for reasons to enter trades, always reasons to enter trades. We don't just put in a trade because we feel the market is going to go up or go down. It's not really a good reason to trade. All right. All right. Again, if you got in a little better entry point there, you're getting a nice little rotation. And hopefully you were able to take advantage of this little opportunity. And next support level we have is down at the 56 area. Well, big rotation. I mean, that is not normal. Not normal. Well, not normal. What's going on? That is crazy. Okay. Again, if anybody has any questions, feel free to ask in the chat. Next support level we have is down at the 56 area. I'll come down here, just kind of floating around down here. Bonds, again, it definitely got some inverse rate going on there. All right, we're definitely chopping around down in this little area here. So be a little bit careful. Next, what we have is down at 56. Right now, we've got resistance around the, I would say, around the 90 area. Patience is very important. Waiting for the market to give us our opportunities to trade, very important.
Hey, a couple quick programming notes and shout outs. Wanted to welcome everybody joining us today. Thank you to subscribers. Thank you for guests. Guests, I'll send out the opportunity to sign up for the service. We ask you to self police. If you like what we're doing here, just sign up. If you need additional information on any aspect of the service, don't hesitate to ask, and we can have a private call. Take a moment to join our friends and family. Now, that I'd sent out to you in chat. Starts out with special discount. If you haven't received it, I can send it to you privately and personally. Hey, Byron, how are you? Hey, Brian, Chris, Christoph, Diane, Edward, Glenn, Ingrid, Johnny Z, Kenneth, Manny, hey, Philip, Richard A, Richard S, hey, Roop, Sal, Sophia, hey, Timothy, Zahurl. If I missed anybody, it was only by mistake. What a great trading market. If you need trading software, let us know. If you are looking to learn how to trade, let us know. If you're looking to learn how to trade better, let us know, and we can help you and point you in the right direction. We have a full service trading academy where Saul takes you under his trading wing and teaches you and mentors you and schools you and trains you to become a better trader. He utilizes price action trading in his trading. He also sets out key proprietary scalping levels right around the cash open, and we look to utilize those levels during the morning trade. So again, don't hesitate to ask questions. Don is a great asset around here. He pops in and out. Got a lot going on both publicly and privately to the advantage of you as traders and traders part of the service. And again, we work with new traders looking to get set off on the right foot. We work with experienced traders that are looking to do better based on their trading. And this service, which we call Trade Along Live with Saul, is a standalone subscription service that is definitely worth its entry price at its regular price of $3.99 a month. Right now, we have it on for $150 special discount. So take advantage of it while it's here. If you go for $400, you get 3 months. That's $125 a month versus $3.99 a month. So for 1 month regular price, you get 3 months. It's a great opportunity for you. Trading is a big, scary business when it comes to money. You should hook up with individuals that can help you bridge the gap between where you are and your goal to seek consistent profitability. Saul's a 25-year veteran trader of the trading pits in Chicago. He's actively scalping for his own trading account. He's also working with and mentoring a select group of traders that are looking to do this on a serious level. If you're one of those candidates, speak up. If you're interested in signing up and joining our friends and family as an intro into our world, you can do that with that link that I just posted. And again, self-police yourself. When we start policing you, we end up throwing you into Zoom prison. That's just limbo. So we don't want to do that to you. So make sure you help us out by making sure that you self-police yourself and sign up. It's nominal. It's not even, wow, I don't even know what it is. A couple days at Starbucks. I mean, it's crazy, right? For those that are looking to come in, tradealonglive.com, tradealonglive.com. So don't hesitate to get the word out. Got a lot going on here again, publicly and privately. If you're looking to get an edge in your trading, everything we do is for educational purposes only. Nothing's taken as direct trading or investment advice. Saul gives out his levels as a guide. They're called levels and zones for a reason. I think you'll pick up pretty quickly on how good Saul is in his trading, and how that can impact and help you in your trading from an educational point of view. And I think you'll pick up pretty quickly on Sol's levels. And Sol's levels, in my opinion, are pretty darn good and a real great leg up in trading for individuals that are coming into the service. But we ask you to do that, write them down, pay attention what happens at those levels and area, levels and zones, and also Sol's commentary as we work our way through the morning session. And again, we're looking to do 2, 3, 4, 5 trades and be finished for the day, having banked our money for the session. The concept here is how do you get in right around the cash open, work for a couple hours till about 11:30, and then be finished for the day. And that's what we help traders do on a daily basis. So take a moment, join the family for yourself, and we can take it from there. I'll be in the background if you need me. I'll be looking for people signing up in the background. I'll either exit people, which means I'll put you in Zoom prison, or stick around, pay the nominal fee. Thank you. And again, if you need trading software, speak up. If you need a clue in on somebody who's a decent broker, speak up. If you're looking to learn how to trade and you're new, speak up. The first thing you do is join our service. And the second thing is you get pointed in the right direction and you, in my opinion, get a leg up on everybody else because you've got individuals that are in it, battling it, part of it on a daily basis. And I think that's great for you or anybody out there. So take the initiative.